Thank you. So I want to start off with a story. I work with PeaceFirst, and we invest in young people's ideas to change the world. I want to tell a story about a couple of summers ago when we were in Chicago. Our work brought us there. And for many of you that know Chicago, you know Chicago is experiencing some significant, even epidemic levels of violence. As a matter of fact, during the summer that we were there, over one 3-day period, over 72 hours, 84 people were shot. So we were talking with the young people, a group of high school students, about 150 to 200 of them. And we asked them, how many of you have personally been affected by gun violence? Every hand in that room was raised. We asked them, how many of you have ideas on how to solve this problem? Almost every hand remained raised. We asked them, how many of you have ever had an adult ask you about your ideas for how to solve this problem? Almost 80% of the hands went down. Lastly, we asked them, how many of you have ever had an adult offer you money or resources to invest in your ideas to solve these problems that you were disproportionately affected by? Now, one hand was raised. Across this country, we have a generation of young people here in the US and around the world who are disproportionately affected by issues that they're on the front lines of. They have ideas on how to solve these problems. They want to solve these problems. But yet, as a society, we do not call on them to solve these problems, nor do we invest in the solutions that they have. The work that we do in PeaceFirst is looking to solve this problem. Our vision is to help ensure that every young person that is affected by an injustice, who has an idea on how to solve them and a commitment to solve that problem compassionately, gets the resources to do it. And the biggest issue, the biggest barrier that young people have is not their desire, but rather it is a false yet pervasive narrative that continues to tell these young people that they are not capable of being solutions to the problems in the world right now. The narrative that we have for young people continues to tell them that they are either victims that we need to protect, they are perpetrators that we need to punish, or the most common one is that they are the future. We tell our young people that they are going to do something great someday, that they're going to be somebody great one day, that they are going to change the world someday. And even with the best intentions, it is implicitly telling them what? That they're none of those things right now. Berkeley Media Group did a study. We talked about the stories of young people in our news. They did this study years ago. And they looked at the type of stories that the news tells about young people. How many were positive and how many were negative? I'll show you how many of those were negative. 99%. The news stories we talk about young people are negative. We need to change the narrative of who our young people are and what they are capable of. And on behalf of all of the young people that we work with every day, an entire organization, the network, global community, we need your help. Because you all are the storytellers. You are the culture creators. You are the people that create the stories and the content that we see and share every day. And we need your help in helping to change this narrative. We are building a coalition of influencers and storytellers and creators who are passionate about young people and their power to change the world, who are going to come together and work to help change this narrative. And we invite you to be part of this. So if you are a content creator, you are a storyteller, I don't care if your passion is food, I don't care if it's music, I don't care if it's cats, I don't care if it's sex, I don't care if it's injustices, we have a place for you. I guarantee you there's a young person that is connected to your passion that right now is trying to solve an injustice in a way that I'm sure you would find inspiring, that your audience would find compelling. I started off by talking about a story in Chicago. I want to tell you about this past week. Earlier this year, PeaceFirst partnered with the Allstate Foundation to launch a national challenge to young people to identify an injustice in local communities. And if they had an idea to solve it, we would provide them with up to $250 to get their idea off the ground. We would provide them with tools and resources and mentors to support them along the way. In the course of less than 3 weeks, almost 300 teams of young people across 40 states in the US raised their hand and said that we're going to do something about injustice in our local community. We selected the top 10 teams, and this past week, this Wednesday, we brought them all back to Chicago. And we brought them on stage for them to tell their story. Each of the young people that were the finalists for this final prize, we invested $2,000 in their work and to support them for the next 6 months. And the grand prize winner got $10,000. And that winner, who is a team of young people who are part of the foster care system, who is experiencing injustices that come from foster care children not having access to clothes and basic things that they need in order to just feel good about themselves, create a national network in which they're helping thousands of foster care children within the Chicago area get the clothes and resources that they need. So as I close, I'll leave you with this. If you don't remember anything else about today, don't remember anything else about this talk, I want you to remember this. Our young people are not the future. They are on the front lines and they are solving problems in our world, not someday, right now. And we need to begin to change the narrative of who they are. And then we don't need to change that someday, we need to change that right now. And we need your help. We need your superpowers. We need your networks, we need your reach, we need your creativity. And we don't need that someday, we need that right now. Because if history has taught us anything, it's taught us that stories are essential for social change. Because when we change our narratives, we change our world. Thank you.